It was another reunion over the weekend in the NBA, and this one has a lot of tiebacks that we have to unpack here. Chris Paul, CP3 is going back to Los Angeles. He is going back to the Clippers, where it all started for him with Lob City. James, I'm going to start with you on this. What are your thoughts on Chris Paul going back to the Clip joint?
I'm just going to say it like this. We're back, baby. We're back. We're back, baby. Just like in The Hangover. But no, in all honesty, I mean, you know what this actually told me? That LeBron cannot retire this year with CP3's farewell tour. That's what that told me. And now we get to see part of the banana boat play against each other again. LA versus LA. But in all honesty, Giselle and Spence, I know Spence is going to drop his jaw when I say this. This might be an Uncle Drew team, but man, with the moves they made with Beal, John Collins, and Brook Lopez, I give me the Clippers to be the favorite out of the West this year.
Stop it. You're saying that?
Number one? I wouldn't go number one. I would go top 5.
Yeah, you're right. That my jaw is dropped. I can't believe James West, a man who I've been, blessed to call a friend for a long time, and in that time has been a notorious hater of the Los Angeles Clippers. No matter who their superstars have been, hater. And dude, now they get Chris Paul, and now you're changing up on him.
Man, I just love the roster. I love the depth. I mean, it'll come down to see what happens with the youth. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. But hey, we all know how they were that close to beating the Nuggets. And I mean, we can't get over James Harden's Game 7s, but maybe Chris Paul can, offset that on this next year round 1 Game 7 and maybe help out Kawhi. But yeah, I'm shocked, man. But I do like this move for the Clippers. Obviously, they get a veteran in the second role, and with, like I said, the moves they made. I mean, this would be the typical 2012, 2014 team move. Obviously, NBA eras have switched, but this right here reminds me of what the Heat did, what the Brooklyn Nets did, what the Celtics did for a time. So yeah, man, this is exciting.
Well, Giselle, I know probably for me and you, our first thought was about the other reunion that happened when this happened. Not only Chris Paul reuniting with the Clippers, as an old teammate he is reuniting with that me and you are both familiar with, Mr. James Harden. Obviously, they played together 2 seasons in Houston, had a lot of success together. Some might even say, in hindsight, we gave up on that experiment too quickly. What are your thoughts seeing that James Harden and Chris Paul are teammates once again?
Honestly, I'm feeling nostalgic and confused. I think those are my 2 emotions blended together about this. I'm really excited for Chris Paul because, like you said earlier, Spence, this is where it all begun, where it all started for Chris Paul. But I did not picture the Clippers being a landing spot for Chris Paul going into this upcoming NBA season, with it being his 21st season, and he announced that he will be retiring. I just did not imagine him doing so in LA. So now that he is, it's putting a whole different spotlight on the West, because we all thought initially he was going to stay with the Spurs. You have Wembanyama cleared from injury, practicing. You have De'Aaron Fox, and he's still kind of injured, but we're rolling with that. And I thought, okay, if he stays with this Spurs team, that would be cool. But we all knew this is not a team where he could potentially get a ring. Now that he's over at the Clippers organization, there is a chance. Do I think it is 100% likely? No, but I do think it definitely changed the betting odds over in Vegas when it comes to this Clippers team. I'm hopeful. I love Chris Paul. I think everyone who is a huge NBA fan honestly just loves CP3. It doesn't matter that he's done the rainbow jerseys of the league and he's bounced around here, there, and everywhere in the NBA. We all just want to see this man win. And honestly, that would be the sweetest storybook ending, but life doesn't always work like that. So we can only hope
especially in sports and especially in the NBA, there would be so many monkeys that get taken off the back if the Clippers did what James said and they come out of the West. That's redemption for James Harden. That's redemption for Chris Paul. Some might even say it's redemption in some ways for Kawhi Leonard, who, yes, he has his rings from his days with the Spurs and his one with the Raptors. But James, I know you are one of the people that thinks he still has a lot to prove. This would be a good moment. Now, I do want to mention this. Before we get too excited about Chris Paul's contributions this year, it does sound like he's going to be more of a reserve. And it even was said that there might be nights where Chris Dunn is getting the backup point guard minutes behind James Harden, and Chris Paul might not even play. But that being said, I would not be surprised if this is Chris Paul getting amped up to be a quick transition once he retires straight into coaching, either be a head assistant on Tyronn Lue's bench, or maybe someone gives him a head coaching offer right away. I would not be surprised, but I think Chris Paul is heading for a crash course to eventually be a head coach very early on in his retirement.
I'll say this, Spencer and Giselle. How would y'all feel being Houstonians? Obviously, I'm a Houstonian, but y'all are the Rockets fans. But James Harden and Chris Paul beat the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. They win the chip. How upset are we? How upset are we on a scale of 1 to 10?
So if they lose in the Western Conference Finals to the Clippers, I will be absolutely devastated. Because first off, that would just be so backwards that I'm now rooting for Kevin Durant to beat James Harden and Chris Paul. That's just so mind-boggling. It freaks me out. However, I would say this. I would be heartbroken and devastated after the Western Conference Finals. But you better believe it, when the NBA Finals start, I would be cheering my tail off for James Harden and Chris Paul against whoever they're playing in the East. Probably the Knicks or maybe the Hawks.
You be quiet. Shut your mouth on that. I mean, they have made some moves. I would give the Hawks that, but I don't trust Trae Young either. God.
Right. I remember about that.
Well, how about this? How about this? We've been seeing so many reunions. You know, we got Dame going back. We got CP3 going back. The number one trending question with these comebacks. Yo, are we going back to our first loves? Or what's going on?
Well, everyone's saying that
I should call her.
Final piece of the puzzle would be Russell Westbrook to Denver. I mean, would be Russell Westbrook to OKC. I just don't see that happening because OKC literally paid out SGA and all of their other players. Is it room for it?
Caruso still got 3 points.
Unless Westbrook literally just takes a pay cut and just says screw it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Westbrook really does like being in Denver with Jokic and a bunch of other players.
Yeah, I think he still has some minutes left to give, and it would be fun to see him back in OKC. But I think the reunions end at Chris Paul back with the Clippers. I'm excited to see it though; it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be so exciting. It's gonna be hot.